here and you're there. Let's talk about the extended tax deadline and reminders. Today, I just want to remind everyone what are in the cooker for the due days, right? Due days normally September 15. This is the day we're talking about. But this year, the 15th is Sunday, so 16th is the due date. But what is exactly due? This is what I want to talk to every small business owners. And maybe you know, you don't know, and whichever way you go, let's just explore that together. And let me show you our website. You are looking at communitycpa.com website. And on our website, you always see news coming up. So like the 10 best tax planning opportunities for 2024. And you can click that and link into our YouTube channel. And every webinars we talk about right now, it is going to be deposited on our YouTube channel. So if you have never really explored our YouTube channel, let me lead you to there. And Grace, are you going to click or I'm going to click? I am going to click. All right, folks. And here is my YouTube channel. There. And here you can see all of our videos, right? If you just click this search button, for example, if you type into tax due date and you search, right? And you click and it will all come up. So we have over 1,000 videos. It's really all here for you. So I want you to take advantage of it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can always be informed. And I promise you our webinar is not boring because whatever fun is going on and we actually talk about in here. And these couple of days, I'll tell you what, the tax accountants are all stressed out. So don't talk to them, talk to me because I can tell you what's going on, but they're too busy trying to catch up on September 16 due days. Let's go forward with our PowerPoint. We always prepare PowerPoint, and because there's so much to talk about, if you don't have these guidelines for me, I'll be standing here going over 30 minutes and not even realize what's going on. So here, we can talk about these deadlines. Okay, reminder for these. Before we kickstart, I always brag about our firm. And a couple numbers I want you to remember, 27. That means how many years we're in business already. 12,000. That means how many clients we have in our system already. 10. That means 10 different languages we're speaking among our collective 40-some professional staff. What about 5? 5 means we have 5 branches. So what about 3? 3 means that I served as the I served on the panel to provide advice to IRS for 3 years. So isn't that interesting? It's number, right? What about 2? 2 is the 2 books I wrote so far. And you can see these are the 2 books on Amazon. And I'm writing the 3rd one. I'll tell you, it's a little bit hard to come into labor with that one because it is 2 p.m. expanding your business. You know, I'm not done with that work I want to do for community CPA yet. So it's hard to put in a period on that 3rd book. So I'm afraid, I have a 4th book, right? 6 p.m., retiring from your business. I hope I'm going to write that one because what if I'm just decided not to retire? That means I don't have a book, right? So it's not exactly like that. But the 3rd one is a little hard. I had a little hard labor over that one, but I am writing it. But these 2, you can already see, it has the journey for community CPA as well, along with all the other clients I wrote in there. So it's a storytelling process in a business activity in United States of America. Tell you how to set it up, how you work your culture, how you grow your company. It's fun stuff. You can relate, especially if you are a small business owner. All right, no responsibility disclaimers as usual. I won't waste any time, but it's on the screen, so you know how to read it. Now, what is due on September 16? It's because it's September 16 this year, okay, folks? Normally it's 15. So this is the due date for those who extended their taxes for pass-through entities. It's such a really kind of not sounding good kind of phrase, right? Pass-through. You know, every time I use this word saying pass-through, I feel like that's just not a good word to describe to our folks what that is. So-called pass-through just means that the money you got in that entity, in that company, it actually landed on your 1040. Pass through the business to your 1040. They call them pass-through entities. Partnership, S corporation, you know that. Those are the K1 things, right? So for year 2023, and if you have a partnership S corporation, you filed extension on March 15. Now, September 16 is the final deadline. You can't extend it anymore. You have to file. Extension request was sent back in March, right? So you know that is your due date. That is why I'm telling you, don't talk to the tax accountant right now because they're all so stressed out. And there are so many taxes and so many procrastinators and the last minuters and people are coming in. So, but the deadline is deadline. And but one of the career requirement, and I always say to our folks, if you don't have the mental to deal with deadline with a big smile on your face, then you're not fit for this business because this business is literally the exercise for mental healthiness. So tonight we're gonna witness the highest job in United States of America is a presidential job, right? It's a president job. We're going to see how tough the mental goes on both candidates. So we'll witness that. The third quarter estimated tax payment for current tax years, that is also due on September 16. So estimated tax is actually very important. If you don't pay estimated tax and you ended up paying taxes, and in 2025, for 2024, and you'll be paying penalty, interest. And the payroll tax deposit for August is also due on the September 16 if you are a monthly depositor. Okay, so those are the due dates. The accountants are very aware of that. If you run a small business, you are not sure. You felt like, oh, I have all of them, but I don't know whether it is paid or not, or who is doing what. Then make sure you talk to your tax accountant. Make sure you talk to your accountant. If you're our client, you should already know that, and we let you know what is due. All right. So our next slide is talking about the 1120S corporation return. This tax return includes a Schedule K1, right? It's used to report your income losses and the dividends of S corp shareholders and the distributions of S corp shareholders. I would change that word to distributions. And the Schedule K1 is prepared for each shareholder, right? And the allocation is based on the percentage of company shares they own, right? This is the important K1. So I want to say that at our firm, at Community CPA, we never file your 1120S by itself without knowing the result of your 1040. That's why September 16 due date for us is not just your pass-through entity is due. It is actually your whole tax return is due because sometimes you see that happen. Your S corporation K1 came out, you filed it. Then when you file individual tax return, you suddenly realize that there's issue related to your base and you didn't really get that done right because it's a balance sheet item and it's an M1, M2 kind of reconciliation. Some of the tax preparers don't even know how to reconcile these numbers to your 1040. So with that not being done, because they are so not noticeable and the result is not knowing until you file 1040, so it's often neglected. So I always say that if you want to file tax return 1040, you got your S corporation done at the same time with your 1040, but don't just do S corporation and meet September 16 due date, then later on deal with your 1040. Bad idea. It is not allowed in our practice. Here at Community CPA, we don't have this kind of surprises, but I will tell you, I see plenty that is triggered and by the other preparers and they're just not thinking complete. Especially when you have your business taxes is done by one CPA firm, then your 1040 done by yourself or by another CPA firm, you're asking for trouble if you do that. Taxes is so interrelated, and you cannot separate them. And you really should not be doing things by piecemeal, and this person do that, that person do that. They're all disconnected outside professionals. No, you want things to be done together under one roof with some communication within these professionals, right? Among these professionals. 1065 is an information return for partnership. And it's also like to issue a K1, just like 1120S, but these K1 are totally different, right? You know what I mean. If you compare the forms, you can tell the difference. The partnership does not pay taxes on its income. And of course, they use this word, pass through, okay, to the partners. And the partners will include the K1 on their partnership return, but they also can deduct partnership-related expense that was not submitted to the partnership. You know, a great example will be if the partnership has two people, one is renting an apartment and the other one has $1 million home, so the home office expenses are obviously different. Instead of submitting that to the partnership, they keep that themselves so they can deduct their own expenses on their 1040 related to the K1 from 1065. All right, so you may say that, well, Ying, this, really not necessary. I just do everything on time. Why would you even think of delaying the tax filing to such a late date? There's what I call the passive delay. Well, my accountant couldn't get it done, and they didn't even return my call. I don't even know what happened to my tax return, so I was told they already filed extension, so I can't wait. So that's one kind of reason, okay? That's called a passive reason. You were forced into the situation and you didn't want to file extension, but your accountant made you so, okay? And then the other reason is, I'm too busy, I don't have time to do it, so I like to have extension done, right? That's another reason. It's passive reason. It is a reason that you just don't have a choice, you have to file extension. These two should not exist. You should not be put in the position to file extension because your accountant couldn't get it done. And I would call that's a practice imperfection, right? It's not perfect, and they run into issue. Maybe one of their tax accountant left or getting pregnant, and who knows, there's things happen and that happened. So you would understand your tax preparer situation and, give them a little peace and, okay with that. But that is something outside of your control. But there is also a group of people that will file the extension with a proactive approach. So those are the people who plan their taxes and they want to file after the due date for very legitimate reasons. So one of the big reasons is they want to match their tax filing with what the government has in their system. And we call that data match. And we do data match here at Community CPA. And so the data would be available, based on, for example, when you file W-2, the W-3 went to both IRS and the Social Security Administration. When that was submitted to IRS has that in their file, how much W-2 you're supposed to report on your 1040. So you match these data, you match interest, you match 1099, you match all of the data that IRS has on their database before you file. That would ultimately offer you a more accurate filing possibility. So the chances of you missing any data is very small. So that timeline for IRS is around summer. So around June and July, all of these third-party filing would be completed in IRS system. So when you pull the data, it'll be more complete. So we want folks to file extension, wait for data draw, then we can match data, then you can finalize to file your tax return. You may hear ask me that, oh, Ying, if you do that, do you have a good examples of people actually really benefited from that? Are you kidding me? I have a load of examples. I'll just give you the most recent one. So the most recent one is our client and give us all these W-2. But in the middle of the year of 2023, they started a new job and ended that same job within the year. So our taxpayer don't remember there was a W-2 because they never got it before. The job was short, so they didn't really pay attention to it. And plus, that company went belly up, so the W-2 wasn't really issued or mailed out on time. So whatever happened, we don't have that data. And when we did data draw, we discovered a W-2. We asked clients, oh, did you have a W-2 you didn't give us? And it's from this company. The taxpayer's response is, oh my goodness, so good that you did a data match. So that's a very new example I gave you. So with that said, if you are getting older, start to feel like your memory is going away somehow, and you have all of these money around, the saving account and the CD, all kind of things, the safest route to go is to do data match. That's why you are still extending your tax return, because you want to data match everything, your company, your personal, anything you have a EIN number, social security number deserves to match. What about other things to consider for having the due date at this time? The third quarter estimated tax timeline for 2024 is September 16. Estimated tax for 2024, okay? And this is especially important for the self-employed individual, small business, investment, and the gig economy work are the people who work from homes and they're doing computer, programs and don't sleep at night but only sleep during the day, that kind of people, And those are, due. The estimated tax due is next week on Monday. And you need to make estimated tax payment if you are expecting an annual tax liability of $1,000 or more. And you can avert AIR's penalty by paying the lesser of 90% of taxes for 2024 or 100% of your 2023 taxes that you paid. Okay, so with that said, there is a benchmark for you to take care of your tax liabilities and without triggering any penalty, any interest charge on yourself. So we want you to be aware of that estimated tax payment. The other things I want to mention to you on the due date, this is not about September 15, but it is October 15, the due date for individual extended, right? But like I told you, if you have a business, you're also going to file business return. You want to get your individual tax filed by September 15, because file them together. File them after you finish the company. Do your personal right away. Don't wait till your company is filed, then you start working on your 1040. Bad idea. But to say that the upcoming tax filing due date is October 15 for 1040, and estate or trust 1041. This is a return that also due at 4.5 months after the close of the trust or estate tax year. Okay, normally that is a calendar year. So basically, if someone passed away in April, so from April to December, that is your year. So your filing due date is the April of 2025. Gift tax 709. Gift tax are very related to share transfers and membership transfers among the parents to the kids in today's environment. There's a lot of baby boomers, and having ready to retire. So they're ready to retire, but their business is sound and very sound and making money. So the kids are stepping up, wanting to take over the company. And that is where if by itself it is a huge class to teach, but I just want you to know that if you are a business owner and you have a child that interested to take over your business, you need to file this gift tax 709 every year. I'll just leave it that way. If it has become a big question mark for you and you contact us and we explain to you why, it is actually very critical, very important for you to do. So you need to file gift tax 709 when you want to transfer your business to your children. C Corp. C Corp is filing 1120, and this one due date is October 15. Okay, the C corp can be easily on the fiscal year ending, right? It doesn't need to be end on December. If you end the C corp on December, so obviously your first due date is April 15, then you file extension, you come to October 15. But if you are ending at the end of November, then your due date is September 15. So it really depends on where you are. So the first due date is 4.5 months after the year end, then extend for 6 months. So that's how you know what is your real due date is. All right. This is kind of the fast run of what I really want to, the knowledge that I want to transfer to you. And with that said, if my talk generated more thinking from you and you want to know the answer, you 2 routes to go. You can go to our website and select one of the partners and engage us for a consultation service. All right? And you can also, and this screen I'm showing you is actually on our website. If you go to communitycpa.com and there is an appointment button on the top, and you can click that and get this sheet. So you can select our partners based on what we're good at, right? We try to tell you what we're good at in this very short form. And then the other route to go is to send an email to Catherine at communitycpa.com. She is the one deciding on what I will talk about each time I am here. If you tell her that, hey, Catherine, like to know what Ying means by the gift tax 709, and I have a business, I want to transfer that to my children, and want to know more about that. If we see requests like that coming in, we will talk about it. Because our whole webinar is not about, facilitating business to community CPA. Of course, is naturally do that, but our main purpose, our conscientious purpose, is to teach folks to know more. Because we believe that if our small business and medium-sized business can learn from here, then we will elevate you to be a larger business. And you know what you would do if you learn it from here, and you will take us with you. You will know that you learned from Community CPA. You want to work with Community CPA. And we are like a boat in the ocean. If all of our clients are rising higher, and we certainly gonna go higher. So with that thought, maybe selfish thought, but our real intention is to teach and is to let you know what to do on your own. So we will tell you exactly what you need to do with that kind of transition. And we have a phone number listed here, 515-288-3188. And this number rings 6 days a week because we open from Monday to Saturday. 6 days a week, yes. And not just for the tax season, it's whole year. And we are a group of people recognize how important that is to open on Saturday. Because a lot of you, many of you out there don't have time Monday to Friday. And you only have time in the evening or on Saturday. In the evening, you know that if you open up my appointment, I did correct that because they made my time available till midnight. So people can book me like at 12 a.m. So I did tell them that, assume I'm not a robot and I still sleep. So give me a little leeways and don't let people book after 11. Would that be reasonable? So you actually can book evening time on my schedule. So I'm okay with that. And I have no other hobbies. My only hobbies is to watch all of you be successful. That would be something I consider is a credit to what we are doing here. So I'll talk to you again, folks, and have a great week. And we will have the same webinar coming out in Spanish and in Chinese. So if you like to hear other languages, and you can go onto our YouTube channel and receive our notification by